Hi everyone, this is Elizabeth with 217 Creations, and I'm here today to show you another inking technique that I like to use for cards, scrapbook pages, and other miscellaneous products. It really will bring your die cuts to life, and with fall and Halloween coming, it's a great way to kind of give things a little bit more of a rustic look. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do. This is the frog from Mini Monsters. And the first thing that you're going to need, of course, is your Ink Essentials Tim Holtz inking tool with the Velcro. And then you're going to need foam applicators. These are also sold by Ink Essentials. And then you're going to need your ink. So to do the frog, we need peeled paint. And depending on whether you like a really dark edge or a semi-dark edge, you're going to have to decide between walnut stain and black soot. I'm going to go for a really dark edge, so I'm going to go with black soot. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so that you can kind of get a little bit wider view. I've also got a nonstick craft mat down just in case I happen to drop something and don't want to get ink onto my nice desktop. So this is a frog I kind of started. And so the way this is going to work is I'm going to dab into my peeled paint. I'm going to kind of keep these here so you can see as I go which one I'm dabbing in. Okay, so I'm going to dab into peeled paint. I'm going to come in and I kind of keep it close to the edge, and then this is just a matter of personal preference on what you like. I want it to be really dark. I really want it to stand out against the paper. I love the look of this technique on basil and textured cardstocks. It really makes a huge difference. So I'm kind of like almost holding it at an angle where I'm coming at it perpendicular. So I go across it that way, so I get a nice deep dark edge all the way around the die cut. Now I'm going to kind of take it in and start brushing it lightly into the die cut a little bit more, so we kind of get a little bit more of a fade. See how it's blending out? And a nice fade. I always like to come across the inside contours with a little bit more ink and kind of brush those a little bit, and then I just kind of fan them out. Okay, so now I've got my die cut all nice and inked, and this might be a little bit heavier than what your preference is, and it really is a matter of personal preference when it comes to these techniques, but this is just how I happen to like to do mine. So your next thing you're going to need is the Fantastics inking tools, and these can be found at most scrapbook stores or stamping supply stores. I absolutely love them. That's what I use to edge all my die cuts. And so this is going to be similar to that part 1 video. I'm going to roll the Fantastics into the ink, and I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to roll it along that edge and just push it into the paper so I get a nice strong line, and just follow all the way around. The die cut. Now here's where personal preference can come in. I'm going to show you on this half a different way to do this. So instead of holding it like this, like I did in the first video, and just keeping a nice thin dark line, I'm actually going to come in and I'm going to lay it like almost on top. I'm going to roll it along so I get a little bit more dark up onto die cut. And that's why I kind of blended in a little bit more, brought that peeled paint, that dark green, into the die cut more, was because I knew I was going to roll this pen deeper into the paper. So that's the look I'm going for. Okay, and I'm going to finish this side with the traditional way that I do it. I would say maybe the clean, classic way, and this side's a little bit more distressed. So let me flip it for you here. Look at the difference on the frog. See how the line comes in a little bit more? You get a little bit more shadow, a little bit more definition, kind of has a little bit more of a rustic kind of feel to it, a little bit more distressed look. This side's very clean, very even the whole way around. So it's just a matter of personal preference which way you want to go, but this double inking like on this side really makes a huge difference when it comes to die cuts. For instance, look at this leaf. I know it's going to be hard to see it in the video, but it really makes a huge difference. You can come in on those edges Let's see if my camera will focus. There it goes. And you can see where it kind of blends into the brown a little bit. Look at that on the stem. I mean, it really makes it look more lifelike on your items. Here's another leaf. These leaves are from Destinations, just so you know. Has a great maple leaf because it has a Canada on there. So let me show you I have time to do another one, I think, here. So I'm going to show you how to do a ghost. And so I'm going to put away my peeled paint and my black soot. And I'm going to actually bring walnut stain for the edge and my Fantastics. And then I'm going to bring my antique linen pad. And this is what antique linen looks like. This is my favorite distress ink for clouds, ghosts, anything that's light, because it doesn't have a real heavy green or brown tint to it, and it really edges things out nice. For instance, this is a ghost I did. I did a Mini Monsters card, and the ghost was done this way. It's going to be hard to see in the video and try and tilt it in the light. Maybe you can get a good feel for it, but I really love how this turns out. So let's go ahead and do this one. The way I do antique linen is very much the same way on a ghost. I'm going to come into that, and then instead of coming at it like this, because I know with this being so white, I'm going to have to blend in a little bit more. I'm going to kind of come on top of it. So I'm automatically starting out with more on top. And that's okay, because the distress inks are completely buildable. So you can always add more. But I know right away from doing this process that I'm going to want more rather than less. So I'm going to come in. Okay, I know it's hard to see. I wish you could see how cool it looks in person, because it really is a huge difference on white items. Okay, so I've got the antique linen on there. Now I'm going to come in with walnut stain. I'm only going to do like 1/2 for you here so you get an idea. I'm going to kind of roll it up on top again like we just talked about. Okay, now while it's wet, because you have a little bit of time before this distress ink dries, I come back in again with my applicator, dab a little bit of that antique linen, and then brush it out. And you get this really awesome faded from light to medium to dark. Try this on your own in person. It is huge on white die cuts what this process does to them. Makes them look absolutely amazing. They stand out so much more. I mean, you can even tell in the video looking from this side to this side. You can see down the angle how much more definition you have and how much more it stands out on the texture. You can see the texture popping on this. Just absolutely amazing. So I really encourage you to play with it. Once again, I have a photo tutorial and directions on my blog at www.217creations.blogspot.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And as always, I love comments, subscribers, and followers. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.